Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode where we talk about home design and decorating trends that have had their moment and now need to go away. I'm not trying to offend anyone that has these things in their home or likes them. I'm just talking about why I personally dislike them and why they're not for me. Light fixtures with exposed bulbs. Okay, I've been seeing this trend for years and I'm so ready for it to die. I don't know how often you're shopping for light fixtures, but I can assure you the market is saturated with different styles of lights that feature exposed light bulbs. From the fixtures that are just wires with a single light bulb stuck to the end, to the ones that I dislike the most, which are the farmhouse ones that look like lanterns without glass. I'm sure you've seen them before. They're basically just metal frames with an exposed light bulb in the middle. Usually it's an Edison bulb, which I'm gonna touch on in a moment, but as any person like myself who suffers from migraines, which can be triggered by bright lights, I prefer not to have a light fixture that blinds me every time I look in its general direction. I'm not denying that there are some beautiful designs out there, like these ones. And when they're off, they're gorgeous. It's when they're on, actually being lights, emitting light, that they become a problem. So for me, light fixtures with exposed bulbs are a hard pass. Edison bulbs. I feel like the whole reason we even have light fixtures with exposed bulbs is because of the Edison bulb trend. The Edison bulb trend emerged in 2015 or 16, and shortly after, basically all the lighting fixtures had exposed light bulbs as a part of their design. I get it, when Edison bulbs were new and there were all these different shapes and sizes and the wires looked so cool, everyone got excited. But it's now been 7 years and I'm just so over it. Are light bulbs really that interesting? Are we that starved for new things that we now have to make a feature out of a light bulb? I don't think so. Grand pianos in entryways. There's nothing like coming home after a long day's work and having your grand piano be the first thing that greets you as you walk through the front door. It just oozes wealth, sophistication, and refinement. Or does it? I realize this trend doesn't apply to most normal people like us, but there's something about a grand piano in the entryway of a McMansion that just screams, I have too much money and I don't know what to do with it, so here's a piano. Pianos are beautiful instruments, but unless you're actually gonna play the thing, there's no reason to have it in your entryway. But also, even if you do play it, why is it in the entrance? I'm fully aware that this is maybe a rich people thing that I don't get. Maybe when they have their swanky parties, they hire musicians to play them so that their guests are greeted with live music. I don't know. Do you have a grand piano in your home's entrance? If you do, please explain this to me because I need to know. Farmhouse barn doors. If for some reason you've been spared from the onslaught of photos of farmhouse barn doors on Pinterest for the past decade, allow me to catch you up real quick. A barn door is essentially a door mounted on a track on the wall outside your room that allows the door to slide open and close. I'm not saying that barn doors are inherently bad. Well, actually, let's call them sliding doors. The benefits of a sliding door are not lost on me. Sliding doors can be great for those spaces where a pocket door would be the ideal solution, but it's too difficult to retrofit it. If you choose to hang a sliding door instead of a pocket door, first of all, you're eliminating the need to open up your drywall in order to install it. That's a pretty big deal. Second of all, a sliding door can actually free up to 14 square feet of usable floor space, which is also a huge deal if you're dealing with a smaller living area. Of course, there are downsides to sliding doors as well. For example, they don't really provide the best amount of privacy, so if you're looking for a door to hang in your bathroom, a sliding door might not be the best option. Also, sometimes the tracks can be a little noisy, and they can have issues with staying closed, which can get annoying or downright embarrassing in some cases. So sliding doors, absolutely yes, they can be a really great solution in some cases, and you can find some pretty nice looking ones actually, for example like this one. But the ones I'm definitely ready to say goodbye to are the overly farmhouse themed barn doors. You know what I'm talking about. The reclaimed wood doors with the classic farmhouse X motif and the big chunky hardware. I think we're all just ready to move on from that particular style in all aspects of interior decorating, and that includes the barn doors. Gray wood flooring. The gray flooring trend has been around for a while now, and while people are definitely moving away from it, I still see a lot of builders using it. But why did gray floors become so popular in the first place? The gray trend came about as a reaction to everyone being against beige. People were sick of beige. Now we love it again, but at the time, people hated beige. So people started using gray instead, and gray started being called the new neutral. And so inevitably this trend spilled into flooring because more and more people were bringing these cool gray tones into their homes. I think some of it also had to do with the stark bright white Scandinavian look that was popular at the time as well. Now people are realizing that maybe beige wasn't so bad after all, and we're going back to those warm, comforting neutral tones. Even at the height of the gray floor trend, I never liked gray floors. And my problem with them is the feeling that I get from them, cold and stark. When you have very cool toned gray floors, I feel like you get boxed into needing to use a very limited palette of colors because a lot of your warm tones would basically just clash. If you just installed gray flooring and you love it, that's great, ignore me. But if you're building right now and maybe you don't have a designer guiding you, maybe it's your builder suggesting gray flooring, or you're looking in your local store and you're seeing a lot of gray options and you're confused, I would advise that you pick something else, unless you're absolutely sure that you want that look. Personally, I don't consider a gray floor to be timeless, so I would never recommend installing it to a client. Rather pick a classic light to medium toned, natural looking, warmer wood. That will be timeless and that will go with any style and any color scheme forever. Terrazzo pattern. Now, if you don't know what terrazzo is, it's a type of flooring that consists of chips of marble or other types of stones set in concrete and then polished until it's smooth. The most famous example of terrazzo are probably the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. However, terrazzo is not an American invention. The terrazzo that we're most familiar with today was developed from a 500-year-old DIY project. Venetian workers in Italy found a clever way to use up leftover marble scraps by setting the pieces in cement so as to not waste them. In this way, they were able to create upscale flooring to use on the terraces of their own homes. Terrazzo in Italian means terrace. Terrazzo floors are now commonly found in many public spaces such as airports, hospitals, and office buildings. It was particularly popular in the Art Deco period of the 1920s and 30s. I think terrazzo is beautiful when used in moderation, and I think it's a really fun and unique pattern that can really add some personality to a space. However, I think it's being used a bit too much these days. It's a little overdone. Nowadays, the terrazzo obsession has spread to just about everything, from countertops and backsplashes to phone cases, wallpaper planters, even shower curtains. What do you think though? Is terrazzo a trend that you're loving or one that you're ready to see go bye-bye? Let me know in the comments. Okay everyone, that's it for today. But if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll stick around and watch another one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.